everybody in life goes two directions, and oftentimes there's points in our lives where we have the option to take either path. And that is when we're unsatisfied, we're not fulfilled, or we're not living up to our potential. Do we either make the changes necessary to acquire what we feel we're worthy of? Or do we decrease our desire? Do we settle? And I think that settling is always a tragedy. Not living up to our potential. When I was 20 years old, I committed to living an extraordinary life. Purposeful life. One with mission. One with impact. One with lots of great experiences and adventures. And I'm really happy to say in the last 6 years that it's been exactly that. The amount of stories that I have to tell to my future kids, the amount of risks I've taken, bold risks that at times led to failure and sorrow, but just as much, if not more, led to triumph and joy. In only 6 years. It's been incredible. But the way man can attain to such a life, one with triumph, one with adventure, is through sacrifice. In my religion, we talk a lot about sacrifice. It's actually a law, a covenant that we make, as in we bind ourselves to God and promise that we will sacrifice not only our hearts to Him and our wills, but we will sacrifice all else that He requires. That is commitment and dedication to a higher good, is when you're willing to sacrifice. And it's so painful to live in a world and to look around, even in my family, in my friends, my network, and see people who have stopped sacrificing. Meaning, they choose comfort, they choose apathy, they choose complacency. And as a consequence, their life becomes static. It's not a dynamic life like the ones that me and my close friends live, with tons of adventures, highs, lows, experiences, but instead it's static. It's almost like the heart monitor in the hospital that flatlines. And in a sense, when you do that, when you choose to go complacent and stop living and stop sacrificing, I think that is a death. It is like a death because you've stopped living. Life is meant to be lived. It's meant to be a journey, a tough journey with ups and downs, with experiences. And I look at the most happy, fulfilled, purpose-driven people in my life. They're always the ones that are sacrificing. Jordan Peterson talks about how he says, choose your damn sacrifice. Because you can either sacrifice the present for the future, meaning you try hard, you do things now, you make tough decisions and take risks now in favor for a better future, or you do nothing now and you lose your future. Your future's damned to mediocrity, to complacency, to sorrow and regret. My greatest fear in life is waking up at 80 filled with regret. And so I committed that if everything else fails in my life, I will not have regret on my deathbed. I will not have regret. I will have done everything I set out to do, where I can say I truly lived. It's no wonder to me that in the Bible, people were offering sacrifices, as you know, in the form of the first fruits of the field, or the the firstborn of the flock, right? These things that they would sacrifice to God because they understood principally, even in an archaic time, that they were meant to offer up sacrifices for the favor of God. Nowadays, thankfully, we don't have to sacrifice animals, but the Lord still requires us to sacrifice our hearts, our wills, and all else that He requires. This is painful sometimes. But as I've chosen to sacrifice the present for the future, I have started to enjoy the sacrifice. It is fulfilling to me. It is meaningful. Same reason you work out. It's not very comfortable when you're breaking down your muscle fibers in favor of a more refined physique in the future. But the more you do it, the more committed you become to the process, the more you enjoy doing it. So the people that are choosing to sacrifice end up being happy throughout their lives. Whereas the people that choose to be complacent and stay stuck are unhappy throughout their lives. This is one of the great treasures and secrets of our life, and it's a great, great remedy. It's a great antidote for those watching that are unfulfilled. Go sacrifice something. Go make a sacrifice. And do it nobly, with a pure heart, and with the intention to live an extraordinary, meaningful life. Start today. And then you'll become addicted, like me. But don't think you can cheat God. Don't think you can cheat meaning by waiting and procrastinating. You have to start now. You have to make it a habit. And as you do so, you will be entitled to a happy life.